Hello once again everyone, welcome back. Joe from Feel Like Craps here. I do feel like craps, however we're not at the craps table today. We are going to do a little investigative work into formulas for the horn payouts. If you ever wanted to get an Excel spreadsheet working and so that it tells you how much horn bets pay out. I know I ran into this problem initially when I was trying to put a crap spreadsheet together in Excel to try to get it to give me all of the results for all the payouts. So I'm going to go through what I went through to get these formulas. They're not that difficult to figure out beyond a 7th or 8th grade math background. You could probably figure most of them out. It just requires a little bit of knowing what you're dealing with. And we're going to test each one out after we come up with the formula so that you can find out if they actually do hold water or not. Just a recap and review for the horn bet. We'll denote it with an H here, but in most casino layouts it's on the prop box. Your 2, your 12, your 3, and your 11 are here. As we know, the 2 and the 12 on a single bet will pay 30 to 1. The 3 and 11 will pay 15 to 1. So we'll note that right away. Now, standard horn bet encompasses all of these numbers. If you place a horn bet, you're betting on each of these numbers to roll on the next roll. As we know, it's a single roll bet. If it don't pay, it don't stay. So, that being said, we're going to run through and figure out how we can get Excel to give us these amounts. We have to plug something into Excel so that every time we end up with a decision, and if we actually win, how much we're going to win. Now, in general, for instance, horns are usually bet in increments of 4. It's a $4 bet usually, and that's because you split it evenly between the 4 horn numbers, the 2, 3, 11, and 12. You split them evenly, increments of $4. We're going to take a look at that case first. We're going to take a look at the case where we've bet $1, a $4 horn bet. It could work the same way for an $8 horn, 12, any multiple of 4, this is going to work for this formula. So let's get to work. What do we know? We're going to start out with something called a let sentence. Any 7th grade, I don't know about 7th grade curriculum today, but I know I was first taught in middle school math what this was, and it's called a let sentence. I am going to let x, which is my variable, it's going to equal the amount of my bet. And it's going to be the same for all of them. Now we're going to look at the case where we've got a 2 or a 12. We're going to eliminate, we're going to not worry about the 3 and 11 right now. 2 or 12, and this is a standard $4 horn bet. Or, it could be any multiple of 4. So, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Standard, we'll call it the standard case. No horn high this or that. Standard stuff. I know that X is the amount that I'm betting. Now, with the horn, a horn win, if you win, it's equal to the win minus the loss. So, in other words, what you won here, but these 3 bets lost. So you're going to take $3 out of your payment here to stay up on the bet. If you stay up on the horn bet, that's going to be how much you win, because you have to replace these 3 numbers. We're going to assume that we're going to stay up on the horn bet on the next roll. So even after our win. So here we go. We know the amount of our bet is $4. It's, in this case, it's whatever the win is minus the loss, in essence. Very simple here. So, in fact, I really don't like that terminology because that's a little off-putting, a little confusing. So we'll just erase that. We'll see as we go. What do I know I need to worry about? I need to worry about what happens to my bet. So I've got a 2 or a 12 that's won. So how much of my bet has won? 1/4 of my bet has won. And that quarter is going to get 30 times whatever I bet. So 30 times 1/4 of my bet, the total amount of my bet, is going to be a win. That's going to be the win. That's my win. I have to subtract out what I lost though, and I lost the other 3/4 of the bet. So 3x over 4 is going to be what I lost. This is my loss. 3 times whatever my bet was over the maximum I could have bet in that instance, which was 4. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense going forward, because this is going to get really easy now. I've got 30 times 1x, which is 30x. I've got minus 3x here, and very nicely I have a common denominator already. I don't need to multiply stuff to get a common denominator. Really simple. So all that goes over 4. All I got to do now is subtract, because I've got like numbers on top. So 30x minus 3x is 27x. My bottom number stays the same. So this is my 2 or 12 on a standard bet. Here's the formula. 27x over 4. For a standard horn bet. Let's see if it works. What do I know? I know if I have a $4 horn bet, I've got $1 on each one, and say a 2 or 12 rolls, I'm going to win $30. That $1 is going to reimburse me $30. I'm going to lose 3 of that 30 though if I want to stay up on the bet. So 30 minus 3 is going to be a $27 win. This better work out correctly if it's the formula that I want. 27 times x is the amount of my bet. The amount of my bet was $4. And I've got to put it over 4. So look at that. 27. It works. And the same thing would work. I'll do another example. Say I upped it another increment of 4 and I went to 8. By simple math, it's got to work for any multiple of 4. So if I have 4, if I have a $10 horn bet, no, $8 horn bet, I'm going to have 2, 2, 2, and 2. So I've got $2 up here. That's going to reimburse $60. But I'm going to lose $6. So that's 60 minus 6, or 54. And what happens here? I've got 27 over 8 times 4. This is multiplication on top, and I've got common stuff here, so that just cancels out. and I've got 27 times 2, which is 54. Lo and behold. And that is how we do a standard horn bet, calculate the payout for a 2 or 12. And this again assumes that we're going to stay up on the horn bet. If we're going to stay up, we have to put back what we lost on the bet. So that's why that extra money is coming out. The same deal is going to work here when we. It's really nice how it works out for a horn bet on a 3 or an 11, because that's a really nice formula. It works out really good. So we're staying on the standard bet here for now. This has a really nice solution. We're going to again assume that we've made a standard horn bet. In other words, an increment of 4. But this time, the 3 or the 11 has hit. Doesn't matter which one. So 3 or 11. And we're going to run it through the same set of reasoning that we ran it through prior. In other words, what do I know? If X is my bet, I'm going to get reimbursed 15 times 1/4 of that, because 1/4 of that bet was placed on the winning number. But I'm going to lose the other 3/4 of the bet. So 3/4 of the bet is going to lose. This is my win minus my loss. So what do I have? I have 15x minus 3x over the common denominator 4. Excuse me. Simple. 15 minus 3 is 12. So this works out excellently. The 12 and the 4 are common. The 4 goes into the 12 3 times. So it works out that my amount of winning is going to be, the amount of my winning is going to be 3 times whatever my bet was. And again, don't believe me, let's test it out and see if it works. We'll take the simple horn bet. What am I going to do? I'm going to win $30 if the 3 or 11 hits. Not 30, I'm going to win 15. Because it's 15 for 1. And I'm going to lose the other $3. $12. If I do $8, it's going to be 2, 2, 2, and 2. So I'm going to have 2 times 15, which is 30, minus whatever I lost, 6. 2, 4, 6. The other 3 bets lose. So that's 24. And you see where we're going here. The initial amount of my bet was $4. So if on the case of 4, I get 3 times 4, which is 12. In the case of $8, I get 3 times 8, which is 24. Lo and behold, it works perfectly. So again, for the 3 and 11, assuming a standard horn bet, a $4 increment bet, 3 times the bet will be whatever our payout is. We did the simple stuff. Now we're going to get a little more complicated, but again, same premise. This is not difficult to figure out. We're going to look now at what happens in the event of a horn high bet. For instance, we're now going to look at high bets. In other words, where we haven't bet an increment of 4, so we're going to assume we're betting in increments of 5. This formula, I think, does work for anything that you're going to go high on, but as far as a horn high bet, but because it's usually bet in an increment of 5, so with the $5, you're going to have $1 remaining over, and you're going to pick which one you want to pump up further. So if I place a $5 horn, I'm going to have to say I want one number to be high. Just for some review, if it's the 2, it's usually called horn high aces. A 3 is usually called a horn high ace deuce, if you want to tell the dealer where to put it. An 11 is a horn high yo, our buddy yo 11. And 12 is usually a horn high midnight, is what it's usually referred to, if you're going to go high on it. And by going high, we mean you're putting that extra dollar of the $5 on that number. So let's begin with a horn high midnight. We'll say we did a midnight, so we're going to put, for a $5 horn, the $2 is going to go on the 12, $1 is going to go on the rest. My total bet now is $5. So let's see what happens. We're going to do 2 or 12. Again, real simple. Nothing too complicated here. Just got to keep the bookkeeping in order. What do we have? What do I know is going to win? I'm going to win 30 times 2/5 of my bet, because 2/5 of my bet are here. The other 3/5 are here. I've got 5 total. I've got 3 of the 5 here, 2 of the 5 here. So I'm going to win 30 times 2/5 of my bet, whatever my bet was in the case of a win. And I'm going to lose the other 3/5. 3/5 of my bet is going to be a loss. So now we're going to bring the 30 inside the parentheses and get 60x over 5 minus 3x over 5, and there we go. Same deal that we dealt with before, except instead of having 4s on the bottom, now we have 5s on the bottom, and that kind of throws everything into a little bit of a tailspin. But don't be afraid of it, because it's going to work perfectly. 60 minus 3 is 57x over 5. That's my recursive formula for a horn high 2 or 12. Don't believe me? Let's plug it in. If the 12 wins here, I'm going to get $60, 2 times 30, but I'm going to lose 3. $57. What do I have here? I have 57 times a $5 bet over 5. Look at that, it's a cancellation. The 5s cancel, we're left with 57. Want to do it the other way too? We'll go up a unit. We'll do a $10 one. $10 will be 2, 2, 2, and 4. And the math is going to work out the same. 4 is going to win 120, but I lost 6. So I'm down to 114. I have 57 times the amount of my bet, $10, over 5. Cancel that out. That turns into 57 times 2, or 114. just to work a simple example. And you will find that that works for your horn high whatevers, as long as they're of course as they're in increments of 5, which is usually what a horn high bet is at a casino. You're going to throw the $5 down, or an increment of 5, and you're going to say, okay, throw me high on whatever. Okay, we have done the horn high 2 or 12. Now we'll give the 3 and 11 a little bit of attention. And again, same sort of a deal. The same sort of a deal for how to figure this out. 3 or the 11. What do I know? I know that my winning bet, if I have 1, 1, 1, and I have 2 on the 3, say the 3 hits. 2 times 15, I'm going to have 2 times whatever my bet was, or 15 times whatever my bet was, 2/5 of my bet. 15 times 2/5 of whatever my bet was is going to win. The other 3/5 of the bet is going to lose. X is the amount of my bet. 2/5 of it's going to win. 3/5 of it's going to lose. That 2/5 that wins is going to return another. It's going to be multiplied by 15. It's going to be 15 times whatever I put down. So now I've just got to shift it back in again. 30x over 5 minus 3x over 5. I've got a nice common denominator again. The only thing I have to do is subtract, because the denominators are the same, I just have to subtract the numerators if they're alike, and they both have a factor of x. So 30 minus 3 would be 27x over 5. Again, you can see how this works out and how it's going to work out for every multiple of 5 that we go on. We can do 5, 10, 15, 20. Same stuff's going to happen. Let's try it out. I've got $2 on that, so we'll do it the long way first. 2 times 15 is going to be 30, and I'm going to lose 3. So the bet's going to pay $27. Look what happens here. I've got a $5 bet. So 27 times my $5 bet over 5 is going to give me the returning payout. Look at that. $27. And again, as long as we stay in increments of 5, we're going to be okay. So go up to 10. Up to 10 would be 2, 2, 2, and 4. I'm going to have 4 times 15, which is going to be 60, but I'm going to lose 6 for a total of 54. And you'll notice this just keeps going up by a double. So I've got 20, and again, I've got 27 times a $10 bet over 5, though that'll cancel, and I'll get 27 times 2, or 54. So you see the formula does work out. Again, it assumes that we're betting in increments of 5 and choosing a high number for one of them. So we'll just recap everything quickly here so you have it all, in case you want to make your Excel spreadsheets for the horn number payouts. the horn standard bet, the formula for the 2 and the 12 is 27x, or 27 times whatever your bet was, over 4. Actually, I shouldn't do that. I've been doing fractions all day. That could confuse people. 2 or 12. And what we'll do is we'll make a nice little table here. We'll do horn standard, horn high, because the payouts are going to be the same for any horn high number 2. And on the bottom here I'll have 3 or the 11. The horn standard is 27x over 4. The horn standard 3 or 11 is simply 3 times your bet. And I should also say here that x is equal to our total bet. Horn high, 57x over 4. And the horn high 2 or 12, horn high 3 or 11 is 27x over 5. And I'm sorry, that's wrong. You should be able to spot the error here. This is not a 4. This is a horn high, so this is a 5. Everything's in an increment of 5, so horn standard 2 or 12 pays out 27 over 4 times the bet. 3 or 11 simply on a horn standard pays 3 times whatever the bet is. For the horn high 2 or 12, it's 57 times the bet over 5. And for the horn high 3 or 11, it's 27 times whatever the bet is over 5. And with that being said, we've gone through everything here, so we will call the video a day here at this point. Hope you have found this informative. If you wish to make a spreadsheet for the horn payouts, this is how to do it. These are the formulas that you need. Until next time, everybody, this is Joe. I always feel like craps. I hope you do too. And we'll see you at the table. And until that next time, may those dice gods be forever in your favor.